Hi guys. People in new and challenging situations often need to compromise in order to be successful. So today we're going to read a passage that shows how early settlers in North America worked together to form a new colony. This is going to be an expository text. It's informative, it's explanatory, so it's going to provide us facts and examples and explanations. It might include text features like headings, and it usually is going to present information in a logical order. When you don't know what you have read, you can always reread to help figure out anything that was unclear. So I'm going to show you how to do that reread strategy today. All right. Here we go. The Mayflower Compact. Setting a course. Many historians agree that the Mayflower Compact was the first step towards self-government in the United States. However, the document might not have been written if its creators hadn't been blown off course. The Mayflower set sail from England in September of 1620. On board were crew members, merchants, and religious separatists. The separatists wanted to break away from England's main church and start their own. The merchants simply wanted to expand their business interests overseas. The two groups had permission to create a new settlement near the Virginia colony in North America. So I want to reread this paragraph so I remember who the passengers were on the Mayflower and why they were coming to North America. So it said, the Mayflower set sail from England in September of 1620. On board were crew members, merchants, and religious separatists. Separatists wanted to break away from England's main church and start one of their own. The merchants simply wanted to expand their business interests overseas. And the two groups had permission to create a new settlement near the Virginia colony in North America. Okay, so now I'm understanding that it's like a religious group that wanted to separate and some merchants that wanted to create new business. Okay, I'm going to keep reading. The transatlantic journey was difficult. Rough seas and storms challenged the crew and passengers. After 66 days of sailing, the Mayflower reached land. However, the ship had not arrived in Virginia as planned. It anchored along Cape Cod instead. This area would later become part of Massachusetts. How do I go to the next picture? There we go. Forming the compact. Some of the Mayflower's passengers looked for a suitable spot for a colony. Others worried that they were not authorized to stay there. The merchants and separatists did not agree on many things, especially religion. Rumors of mutiny spread about the ship. So I'm not really sure why some of the passengers were worried that they weren't authorized to stay there, so I'm going to reread this paragraph and try and figure that out. Some of the Mayflower's passengers looked for a suitable spot for a colony. Others worried that they were not authorized to stay there. Well, wait a second. Why were they not? So I'm going to go back even further. It said, rough seas and storms challenged the crew and the passengers. After 66 days of sailing, the Mayflower reached land. However, the ship had not arrived in Virginia as planned and anchored along the Cape Cod, and the area would later become part of Massachusetts. Oh, so they were worried that they weren't authorized to stay in this spot because they weren't in Virginia like they were planning to be. They were in the Cape Cod, which is later Massachusetts. Okay, cool. I'm going to read on. To maintain peace, passengers created a document. This compact would be a guide for the group's self-government. By signing, the members promised to overlook their differences. Instead, they focused on their common goals. They agreed to just and equal laws. They also selected a governor for what would become the Plymouth colony. So this paragraph gives me some important information about the main idea of what I'm reading. So I'm going to reread to make sure I understand the purpose of the Mayflower Compact, which is the title of this story. So it says, to maintain peace, the passengers created a document. This compact would be a guide for the group's self-government. Oh, so the purpose is like to show, or the main idea of this story, the Mayflower Compact, is that the first settlers here in Cape Cod signed a document called the Mayflower Compact. Cool. I'm going to keep reading. A lasting influence. Over the years, the Mayflower Compact has inspired other documents, including the United States Constitution. Because of that, the Compact's authors were later called the nation's Pilgrim Fathers. By working together, the Pilgrims had charted a new course for an entire country. Wow. Nice job, guys.